but nevertheless, that is an impressive feat from Forfence, and that does have me thinking, if they're showing promise versus witness on this, and NOOBPANZER are dropping points to Swift, this that does make me favour Forfence a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really close one either way. But we are rolling out here onto your first mid of this Metalworks game. Forfence in the blue, NOOBPANZER in the red. So Joe is very locked out here though. They have to come out backdoor here. They're so much slower. The Frenchies just have so much more space on this mid. They are giving them a bit of respect, not going too aggressive yet. But look at all this high ground these scouts and soldiers have. It's going to be so hard for them to break them. But a little bit of a push coming out here from NOOBPANZER. They're getting a little bit of space back. Shocky needs to be careful. He is in one pipe range. He's going to run behind them here. Luckily, he doesn't get picked out. Deli is actually our first one to go down. And other Frenchies are just having to escape with their tails behind, between their legs here. They just leave it completely. A really slow, methodical mid there from NOOBPANZER, but they managed to win that out in a good fashion.
Yeah, NOOBPANZER basically entirely giving that mid up and hoping that Forfence did exactly what they actually did do there. Hugo and Adiski in with a double bomb instantly, landing straight onto Bruggeman, but they're both going to get taken down. Juxta already way out of the shutter. But yeah, that mid-fight was pretty much all a bait play. Hugo was just hiding in their own house. They were waiting for Forfence to cross the point, and then Hugo could shoot the demo in the back. Once again to shoot the demo in the back, and he does actually manage to take the 1-for-1 trade. So soldiers down for both teams. Demo also down for Forfence here.
Yeah, Demo Man down, gives you a bit more space in the house, but that's about it. Still quite difficult to get in. Your soldier can still hold pretty close as Bruggeman just was. They're allowing them to get in for free. They're looking to go Valley once again here on NOOBPANZER. Probably looking for another sack, trying to get onto this medic. They have had a little bit of success both times with getting those couple of picks. I thought Adiski was going to go straight in. He gets a couple of nice rockets. They are making a good space here. Maybe just looking for Voxy to get into something. But no, the bomb comes in from Rons. He is in deep. It's a fake bomb in the end. Voxy's so aggressive. They're getting so much space here. They need to come and take this back. The force does come out from NOOBPANZER. Ron's going down, but Juxta is just sitting pretty. Only has the force now. And look, oh, so low on Voxy. It does look like he might get out, but everyone is...
Whose rocket was that? There was a red rocket there that just juggled that Uber right at the end. That was a lifesaver for NOOBPANZER. If that Uber didn't get slowed down, they could have got mulched there. Hugo now in with another sack. Looks like a fake, trying to back out. Bruggeman bombing forwards at the same time. Adiski's the one landing onto Juxta, though. Takes him down, and that's a big advantage for Piggles.
Yeah, he was completely unseen there. All the eyes were onto Valley, and he managed to sneak his way onto Juxta there, and that will give them huge Uber advantage. They're just going to resituate on mid for now. They're going to get healthy. They're going to wait for this soldier to come up, and they're going to try to push in to second here with full Uber advantage, which would make things a million times easier. So they are looking at this Valley area.
The bomb. Ooh. Just notices he's not going to land it and opts to strafe away with the bomb instead of landing, trying to sink onto Piggles there. But this is a very clean take now for NOOBPANZER. They're maintaining this Uberad for last.
Yeah, they gave it up for free there on Forfence, and their medic only just came back up. It's going to be a huge advantage still until last. No chance for Juxta to get this Uber here. They are looking towards this left side. Uber comes straight out onto Vox. There's a Pyro to deny this. Gun taking a while to get taken out, but look how many players are in spawn here. Uber's finally faded. They do have a heavy out on the side of Forfence. This might scare them enough to run back. The puck going down might make it just enough. Alien coming out, doing so much damage to all these players, and they will have to back up. So that is a failed last push from NOOBPANZER.
Yeah, just no point play at all from NOOBPANZER. They committed everyone behind that metal grate instead of dropping someone onto the point while the rest of the people spawn camp. Everyone gets into spawn safely. For Forfence, they still have 8 stickies on the point by the time the Uber's over. Adiski's trying to make anything happen in lobby. Goes 1-for-1 with Bruggeman. But this should be a pretty clean retake. Voxy has managed to sneak his way behind, but he's spotted. Going to get chased down here by Lons and QB.
Bomb from Puck came in high onto Juxta, but he was baiting so far back into the lobby there. That was kind of their last-ditch effort there. 2 down here, Voxy and Puck down. Only Bruggeman down as he spawns now. Full ad. For Forfence, they look like they still want to stay on the point here. Oh, no, sorry, it's even Ubers now. It's completely evened out. They do take this mid. Deli coming in, doing a lot of damage, but he's a little disconnected from his medic. Uber is popped out from both teams here. It's looking a bit scrappy on both sides. Rons is in behind. They're really chasing bad for him. Forfence look like they have a little bit of better position. And Pickles went down during this. Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah, that Uber was just a little bit better for Forfence. They managed to make a lot of things happen. Ron's getting into enemy lobby, gets a flash to save his life as well, and that lets them catch Piggles at the end of the Uber as well. This is meaning it's pretty much a coast-to-coast now for Forfence. Ron's going to lose his life for the trap, but doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. 40% add either way. Neither Uber is up yet, so by the time Ron spawns, that's going to be just in time to join the push onto last.
Yeah, as you said, they're probably just going to wait for Rons here. They do have about 40% advantage. There's already a gun and a pyro up for NOOBPANZER here. We saw how much time that managed to waste when they were pushing in, so obviously could do a really good thing. Does look like Shockey's going to be playing it super close here, but that doesn't matter if they're not going to go to your doorway here. They're looking towards main. The Uber does come out. It is Deli jumping in. He needs to get the sentry gun, and now finally goes down. Alien's looking to play towards the point, but Deli gets bombed, go down straight away, so disconnected from his medic. It is going to have to be Juxta just running away, and look, he's the only one alive just with QB here. They're probably going to get out of second here, but this is really bad for them.
Yeah, they almost held that as if it was even on the last there. They had the forward sentry, they had the pyro ready to stuff that door. They don't manage to kill the engineer is a big thing for the defense there, or the offense there rather. Now NOOBPANZER using this into mid, trying to get as deep as possible. They do manage to find a frag, but that's it. They've just gone 1 for 1 off the back of a full Uber ad. It's not exactly what you want to see, and they don't have much cap time on mid either. But looks like Forfence aren't going to be pushing the issue yet. They're just slowing it down, making sure they have this full Uber before they commit to anything. The cap should be going the way of NOOBPANZER any second now.
Yeah, they are in this valley area for Forfence. They're situated to get onto this mid. Deli taking the charge forward. Has to be careful of this spam. A couple players on the right still trying to fight it out here. But it does look like NOOBPANZER will just run away onto this. Already 60% Uber on Piggles. And oh, they nearly take out Rons there. And I think we do have a bit of a pause here. But it is going to be Forfence after this. Just trying to push this into second. About 30% advantage.
Yeah, let's have a think. Is this a pause after a round has gone somebody's way, or is this a pause because there's some bad internet on the server or something? It doesn't look like Forfence should be able to get much done with this Uber advantage, at least from where everyone's playing now. Piggles is safe, ready to get out. It's only a 30% ad, and it looks like Voxy's building, so they should be pretty chill here. They've got stickies and soldiers forwards to slow anything down.
Yeah, unless they get some sort of miracle play here on Forfence, I don't think this is going to be an easy last from them. But you never know. That is the repause we've just seen, so we should be starting pretty momentarily. It might not be. I don't know how many repauses we're going to have.
Yeah, second repause.
And jumping around a little bit.
Maybe there's been a couple of issues with a couple of players, but there we are, into the game proper once again.
Oh, Uber comes out,
Speaking
and Pickles actually does get baked.
Wow, the instant just jumping forwards onto Piggles. Deli managing to take him down with just 2 stickies, and now Voxy caught behind as well. Oh no, this is dreadful for NOOBPANZER. This is sure to be around now, as they are moving in towards last. The medic has just spawned on the side of red team. High bomb in from Rons, managing to land onto Hugo. Free soldier pick early. If they can just get someone on the point now, that should be it. Joe's going down. Shockey, nothing to do on heavy behind the wall there. And there we go, the first round. Exactly counter to what we were just saying would happen on second. Deli with a huge bomb just converts it.
Oh, the self-proclaimed carry, you know, just does that sometimes. Yeah, it's always a really good bomb. It's actually something Deli does quite often, is bombing through that door, doing the little double sticky pogo. Yeah, really good from Forfence. That will be the first round going to them, but still 22 minutes remaining in this round, but anything can happen.
Brugman hitting a little skip just to get further forwards onto the point early. Looks like Hugo's doing the same kind of bait mid this time, but he's just going to get instantly pressured for it by Rons this time. QB running through lower house as well will deal with that, so there's a bit of counter-strutting going on from Forfence here already, and the big bomb onto Piggles. He's just going to live with a very little bit of health, but no QB to follow up. Does get Piggles down at the end of this mid, and that's a big advantage for Forfence.
Yeah, really nice from them there, just to get that player in behind. Gets the little bit of clean-up damage that they needed, and now that will be Juxta having the advantage again. We've seen the situation happen before, and you know, they did quite well from it here. We will be seeing them just taking second and free. Absolutely zero contest here from NOOBPANZER. They just want to get set up and last. They want to get this gun up. They want to get this heavy up. and they actually have the gun under the bridge here. Something, you know, a lot of open players get caught out on. Will the Prem players here be able to counter it any better?
Well, it is up to level 2. I don't think Voxy's going to have much time to get it any further than that. They're already peeking in from right, so they have found that sentry out already. They've managed to take it down with very little resistance and use the Uber off afterwards. They're trying to get in as deep as possible with it, but Voxy's reflecting pretty much everything they send their way. There goes 2 kills onto Voxy and Joe at the end of that. And now Shocky just hiding in this corner on Heavy needs to be the next target to get focused down. In fact, they get the medic, and now that's 2-0 for Forfence.
Yeah, Deli did so much on that push. As much as Shocky, Voxy wanted to reflect all of that spam, he just could not. And there was rockets, there were pipes, there were stickies coming from everywhere, and it just did so much damage to all of them. The Heavy did last for a long time. Piggles was trying to arrow him up as much as he could, but unfortunately that last line of defense could not stop them from getting that second round. So looking really good for Forfence here.
Bridgman's hit the skip he wanted to this time, gets a lot further in, and he's been taken down very low and punished from it. Voxy's going to be the one to clean that up now. A huge bomb from Rons lands on 2 people, gets 1 kill, takes the other down very low, but it's not enough to salvage this mid. Forfence have already called it quits.
Yeah, they're running straight back here, but Deli does not want to let anyone into this house area for free. He wants to make sure they're pressured a little bit. Doesn't really matter about house when the rest of the combo is walking into Valley here, Bum.
Yep. Already trying to see what they can pressure. Puck in with a bomb, gonna land on Deli after seeing that the med's already out. So it's good damage onto the demo, but now Adiski in with the real bomb afterwards gets onto both the medic and demo in that shutter, but gonna get taken down. Nice sack attempts from NOOBPANZER, but not enough.
No, not quite here. Unfortunately, there's not really too much more you can do there. It feels like Valley is pretty much the only area you can get in through for those sacks. Sometimes you can get in from under, but quite often you'll have a scout watching that. So you have to watch for that, have that distraction that we saw before. When I think it was Juxta that got killed in a post after the post-Uber exchange for Soldier jumping through. So maybe we'll see NOOBPANZER try to do something similar again here. We do see a little bit of aggression here in the house from Joe, just putting up some traps, not too much happening. A couple players looking into Valley here for the side of NOOBPANZER. I should say a couple. It looks like basically the whole team here. They might commit quite a few players for this. Maybe a little double bomb happening.
Yeah, this is pretty much all you can do is just gauge the enemy team's reaction to your bombs. This is the one thing you can really do to get into this second. If you see they're playing super far back, you can kind of strafe out of the bomb and try and do something else, killing the further forwards players rather than going for the medic, which is what we've seen NOOBPANZER adjusting to a couple times already, but in they go with a double bomb, this time strafing back towards point once again, but Forfence are just kiting it perfectly.
Yeah, they just didn't get any damage from those soldier bombs. Both soldiers had to just kite away from it, as they just did not really get any damage with their bombs at all. Juxta was just so far back, there was absolutely no chance of getting that. No demo man overextended, nothing like that. Juxta does take a ball. The bombs do come in. They should look for other picks here. Rons gets traded out by Puck here. Can they find any more off of NOOBPANZER here? Force does come out from Juxta. It's only slightly better here, though, for Piggles as they do chase through. But Alien goes down. That will be Forfence having to run back a little. Deli doesn't want to give it up, though. Gets some nice little stickies, but unfortunately, they will last a millisecond too long.
Yeah, that could have been deadly. Voxy opting to see if he could get behind the Uber rather than go for the frags on the fading players in front of him, and that gave just a little bit of time for Deli to put those sticks up. Could have been so dangerous at the end of the Uber, but it ends just at the right time, lasts just long enough for them to get back out to second there, and Adiski is on Spy, and he's left spawn.
Yep, he's committed for it here, so we will be seeing a Spy play. I expect maybe a Sap and Sack, potentially, just trying to get onto this gun. Otherwise, it's so hard for your soldiers to get in, but he might just be going in the backlines. Oh, Puck going down there, though. Maybe it was that player looking to come in for the sack. Some nice stickies there.
Yeah, Deli had a trap up that nearly killed 2, but instead the spam afterwards follows up only onto Puck. Adiski is still the big headline here. No one actually moved into the lobby off of that. They just want to hold a point here as Forfence, and Adiski is kind of stuck in a rough position to uncloak here. Yeah,
it's been a little bit risky. He's nearly been bombed a couple times by Juxta here, actually. So, He's got to be a little bit careful with what he can do, but he's just being patient. He's looking at this sentry gun. Well, actually, he's looking. The medic gets a stab on Juxta. That's exactly what they needed here on NOOBPANZER. And now the force will come out. A soldier goes deep, but they're already straight into this left lobby last here. No medic to heal these players up, so any damage is really permanent here. Deli making some sort of fight here, as is Rons. They get a couple people out of the spawn, but Joe is just managing to clean these players up. But look at this absolute rush by these scouts here. Joe gets QB down so low, he's just a millimeter of health here. And look, they had to run back to spawn to go to this resup. Oh, good cut time from Voxy, but the two-shot coming out there from QB manages to stop this push. That was looking so close.
There is no way Forfence managed to win that. All of them on about 20 to 50 health against heals, a medic, a scout, a demo, and no one going down at the end of that fight for Forfence. That is unbelievable. It needs to be Voxy doing that chip damage right at the end of the fight, but he was just getting focused down so hard. He was often the furthest back person in the end of that 3v3, just having to get absolutely tanked by Piggles. They gave him no chance to get in and get the frags he need, but now they're recycling the Uber, 30% advantage. Can they do any better with this one? Sentry gun down straight away. Again, very little time on point as it does get bombed by Ron. Stickies are still on it. Puck is going to have to det himself for the sticks, but now Voxy able to play it right at the very end. 96% on Juxta. They were just in the nick of time there. And NOOBPANZER finally get themselves on the board.
Yeah, bringing it back to a 2-1, making it a much closer game. They did exactly what they needed to there. Even if one goes down for that stickies, just that cap time they managed to get from that first soldier, kind of baiting, and then just, you know, how much time it allows you to get on cap time when all those players are always going to be so far back behind that metal wall or in spawn is really good from them. Brugman doesn't hit the jump at this time, unfortunately. But they are just situated on the same sides here. Our first player to go down is Joe on the demo man. However, nice bomb in from Roms does manage to take down Piggles here. So it does look like Juxta should live here. There is a player running back behind here, making a little bit of pressure constantly. It's Shocky. But they just want to run forward on Forfence, catch all these players out. Shocky is back in. Juxta did just take a rocket. He manages to live there on about 30 HP.
Really nice play from Juxta at the end of the mid to just keep himself with the maximum distance between him and all the threats. Obviously, they knew Shocky was behind, then both of the other NOOBPANZER players actually bombed that main door rather than the lower one, so giving Juxta a bit of an escape square, getting out onto mid and keeping that 100% advantage alive. Nice surf at the end as well, of course, to get out of Shocky's range from that scattergun, and keeping up a pretty sizable advantage for last here.
Yeah, it should be about 40% advantage by the time they push, so it's unlikely that Piggles will get it. We see a bit of a difference here. We see a gun and a heavy here as Deli comes in with this Ubered bomb straight onto the heavy. Gun taking a while to go down here. Eventually actually just goes down to being taken away. Deli goes down to a heavy. He was really overextended, and all the picks are just going towards NOOBPANZER. Even going to lose Juxta here. Only the soldiers remaining. Rons is hiding, so he's something to worry about. Well, that was such a dominant last hold there by NOOBPANZER.
Yeah, they know there's one missing. Adiski's playing last. He knows about this possibility of a play here from Rons, and Rons tries to make the jump in. Adiski going to be there to block it. They go 1-for-1, which is not bad at all for Rons, but it's not the round they wanted at the end of the day, and it's still a massive advantage for NOOBPANZER. There was just really no progress made by the medic of Juxta on that last. They end up basically dropping Deli to the heavy, who was right outside spawn, just because their heals couldn't get any ground forwards. Now on mid, there's a trade between Alien and Puck, but it looks mostly uneventful. This should just be a free cap for NOOBPANZER and maintaining the advantage for second.
Yeah, they managed to bully their way in there without having to use just the threat of that Uber was enough there. You were talking about Demo Men going down, and Joe got taken down to 10 HP. My heart was racing a little bit while you were saying that. It's already 90% on Juxta here, so this is probably going to be a sack attempt, as we do see a soldier bombing it straight in, gets onto Deli, can't find both Rockets and Kanadiski. Unfortunately, Deli will live there, and this is going to have to be NOOBPANZER just chilling back on at mid for a second. I think Forfence is going to be quite happy just to chill out here. They do have that round advantage. It's much harder to push onto mid than it is onto second on this map.
Yeah, there's very little you can do from this position in terms of counter-sacks and stuff. You'd really have to hard commit to Valley before you can actually start doing anything in towards mid. So not surprising to see Forfence wait there. They are sending Rons in now once Lobby has been taken, and it's just been a complete disaster for them. Rons and QB both getting rolled, and then Brujman getting followed up on in the 4v6 fight afterwards. They're just going to have to give up second entirely here, getting a bit too ahead of themselves, trying to make a play into house there. Adiski sees an opportunity to go for a sack while they're only 3 up, but he's been stickied out. Maybe they'll try something from another door, but no, they're just pressuring with spam for now.
It looks like Voxy wants to get a little bit of pressure onto point here. Actually getting a lot of cap time coming up, and he wins the round! No one could get on point there. They were not expecting him to make commit. Maybe they thought a soldier could get onto him, but that point seemed to cap so fast. Really well spotted from Voxy to just play that pressure. I'm sure he just expected him to bomb him and his team maybe be able to get a force, but no, just manages to win them the round completely there. Let's blow up to another 2-2 bomb.
Yeah, that's definitely the plan there. You keep the spam up, then you put the point pressure on, anything that can just make the medic panic use, but instead they just steal the round right out from under their nose, so not bad at all. NOOBPANZER back in the game once again, and this time going for a very aggressive mid. Everyone's walking over the point. They've left Piggles on his own. He's going to die, and they don't actually get Juxta. They do just clean him up now, and now they need to be getting the rest of these frags in this 4v2. Brujman bombing in behind. He's going to get cleaned up as well. The aggressive mid works out for NOOBPANZER in the end. This could be the first time taking the lead in this first map.
Yeah, good focus from them there. However, it's going to be about even here. Both medics spawning at the same time. So as long as Juxta doesn't go down early, they should get Uber. But they're taking a lot of pressure already on the side of NOOBPANZER, sending Shocky onto this cap. But I don't know if that's going to last for too long, as Rons is already on the case. He does get down and is actually going to die from full damage here. So nice traps there by Joe. Is going to give them a big advantage to try to come in here. Puck already coming in to huge damage to QB and Delhi. And that's going to be Forfence having to back up from second. They're straight back onto last.
Yep, Adiski on the spy once again. He has taken damage, but that was from a blind debt, so they're not going to know about the spy yet unless they switch off to actually check it. So it's all eyes on Adiski right now. That's pretty much the one play they are relying on here. He's just got to inch his way in ever so slowly on the Cloak and Dagger here.
Yeah, you'd have to hope they're a little more paranoid this time, as their medic did drop to this once more. And look how much they're spy checking. The Pyro's out. They know he's around. He has to go in for something. He's going for aggressive stab. Gets him. Nice little stab there onto Delhi. Little mini trick stab. He does eventually go down, is chased out, but Delhi going down gives them a lot more space here if they want to play with it. They just need to look for an opportunity with one of these doorways, but it looks like they're not confident enough here. These soldiers are giving enough pressure for NOOBPANZER just to back out.
Yeah, it looks like Piggles catching a lot of spam kind of made them think twice there. They had to back up and get him the mini pills, but that demo pick could have been a pretty big deal. There's no sentry up or anything on the defense as well. That's definitely giving the NOOBPANZER players a bit more space to work with, but at the end of the day, if your medic goes down that low, it's always risky to try something when there could just be an instant return of serve and you lose out in the Uber situation afterwards, so they're going to have to retry something else into the last here.
Yeah, an interesting decision not to go, gun here. They do eventually get it up, but they're still going to have a scout as well. Maybe looking for that repush opportunity. Obviously, when you have 2 off classes, it's going to make you a lot slower to get into second with your scouts here. But the bomb does come out here. It's looking to get this soldier, maybe a little bit of a fake, and it's a recommit onto Delhi. Nice 2 rockets. He gets taken down super low. Finally, Adiski can find that last one, but he's getting the same trade he did last time. And look, they've got a level 2 gun, quite aggressive here. This is going to make it so much harder for them to do anything. Puck goes down as well, so that's 2 pigs gone for the side of NOOBPANZER. This might give Forfence a little bit of an opportunity to walk forward here. They're taking Brujman a little bit into lobby. He's just peeking, see what they can find, but it looks like they're just going to chill a little bit here on Forfence. They know it's not enough to push. Yeah,
there's very little you can do peeking into second without your demo. It's really like the main damage dealer, especially when you have to leave one of your scouts on engineer. Just in case something goes terribly wrong, you always want that NG up on last, or just to have it in the even situation when you eventually return there. So without Delhi, they're not looking to do much. They are just happy to give NOOBPANZER another go. NOOBPANZER haven't been too successful so far. They do have this defensive sniper now, and actually an offensive sniper from Adiski as well, taking the angle on the shutter, getting Voxy to open that for him. QB, on the other hand, looking into far right lobby.
Yeah, we are just having this SVS here. usually slows down the game, but if they manage to get down this nice shot, I like this angle by Diski standing on the crates. It's just looking for anyone to over-peak him here. Has to be a bit careful as they are about to see each other any second now. No shots ring out though, unfortunately. Oh, but Diski taken out by a nice little peek from the right-hand side by Brugman. This is going to be the rest of NOOBPANZER just backing out here. And only a minute 40 left on the clock here. I think Forfence is probably just going to try to stalemate this if they can and take them back to another mid-fight.
Well, they are taking the wide angle with QB. He's backed up by Brugman as well in case he gets pounced by anyone. But this angle is cheeky. It's really stopping them from really taking lobby on the side of NOOBPANZER. And as you see, that's the bait and switch as puck bombs forwards. They switch out for Brugman. But neither player going to get too aggressive, and it's eventually just the YOLO trade. We've seen these work out so often once the time gets low. Teams just going for these trades and managing to make some magic, but doesn't seem to be going that way this time. NOOBPANZER have been stopped in their tracks. They're going to drop Voxy off the back of it as well. Puck now in for a sack, but he's just going to get bounced back, also lose his life, so it's a 4v6 in favor of Forfence. The question now is, do they push off of last or do they take the mid-fight?
45 seconds, in theory, enough time to get the Uber. Pickle's already on 40% here, so they could definitely get it. They decide not to push on the side of Forfence, and I think if they go really fast here on NOOBPANZER, they could have this Uber, but they have to get onto that last point as well, so it's definitely a risky play either way. But I think Forfence staying on last, probably the best thing they can do. They have that level 2 sentry to deal with. QB has just been building this whole time, so both teams on 80% Uber, pretty much even. They're trying to get through here as fast as they can, looking towards this left-hand side main here. Voxy is in, just trying to make space. Rons goes down early there. Uber doesn't come out. Gun down as well early. Can they get some countdown? Shocky straight on it, but he's going to be met by an Uber QB. And now the timer going down, 3 seconds remaining. They need to get on the point right now, and they are meant to get it. They get the round!
Wow, just the converging on the point right at the end of that. NOOBPANZER had a plan and they knew exactly how to execute it. They knew that they had taken that trade, so their Uber was going to come up just that little bit earlier. They gank Rons instantly, get him down, and then everyone is able to force Juxta and kite the Uber perfectly. They all converge on the point right at the very end after keeping themselves alive through the entire Uber. Excellent play from NOOBPANZER to finally take the lead here, and with 4 minutes left, we need a response from Forfence.
Yeah, they need to start playing this potentially a bit more aggressively, seeing what they can do. Did not win the last couple of mid-fights here. We do see Runs going in for a bomb. Joe does go down to it. Good damage onto Voxy as well, but catches a clutch arrow by Piggles here. And look how low Juxta is. He just has to run away so far. He's so low. And it's so scary. Deli goes down. It does manage to get picked out, but the scouts of Forfence do not want to give this up without a fight. They are not with their medic here, though, so they have to be careful. Jump in from Brugman. They should take down this soldier. He actually managed to live. Really well played. They actually do manage to get Brugman instead of Puck here, and now it's on the side.
Yeah,
see what they can do.
Scout and Soldier versus 2 scouts, but crucially the scouts have the high ground. Puck's not going to be able to get a jump off here. The Ubers are so nearly up. Juxta just gets it in time to not get dropped from that one. As the trades are out, they lose Puck off the end of the back of that Uber, and there were 2 insanely clutch moments in that mid-fight that could have turned it. First of all, Juxta surviving and everyone feeding for him when he was just on that 10 health. They absorbed the aggression so perfectly on Forfence, and then to counter it, Hugo hitting that uphill direct onto Brugman nearly turned the entire tide of that mid-fight. But here we go, Forfence in the end are the ones to get in, and Rons takes down Piggles in the back lines with a huge bomb. This is Forfence getting back into the game in a big way now. They are going to be able to maintain this big advantage. They're in a 3v3. They just need to keep their players alive around their medic here. Puck in with a huge bomb once again, sinks it onto Juxta. Juxta just managing to dodge around, does get taken down in the end. Deli and Alien not able to convert it, and that's Shocky and Voxy managing to clutch out the fight. NOOBPANZER managed to turn that one around right at the end. They just got overwhelmed in house.
Yeah, QB was the only one watching house there, and he unfortunately was met with 2 scouts, post bombs there. He got taken out and just allowed those scouts of NOOBPANZER just to get behind and manage to clean up on that lovely bomber by Puck. He actually got so much damage done there, and yeah, they just kind of got stuck in the corner there on Forfence. But look, as the timer is ticking down here, they are pushing forward. 2 minutes remaining. Does look like they're going to want to take this drive fight. Pickles on 80% Uber, so they have to take this quick here. Bomb does come out straight away on Rons. He is getting around onto Pickles. Can't find the rocket though. It's taken down. They lose 2 for it. Shocky does go down as well, so that's a scout down, but it's all they seem to be able to get now. Kubi going down as well. Now the Uber does come out from Pickles, but they're way, way close enough to Juxta to get him, and that is looking perfect for them. Their only play here is to try to get a player behind, but Alien actually managed to get
Pickles.
2.
Are they? No, okay. For a second there, I thought they were winning that, and that would have been the most incredible thing I'd ever seen, but Forfence just got a bit too ahead of themselves. They're hard committed after that bomb from Rons didn't work out, and they end up losing 6 for it. Might not be worth it. They need a miracle now to make something happen. At least they got Piggles during that fight, so now everything's dry from here. The Ubers aren't going to be in the equation. They were really looking to kind of get either the dry fight before Piggles got the Uber, or at least get him on the first sack cycle there, because there's really very, very little time left in the game now. We're going to need to get this cap in 1 minute to even go to a golden cap for Forfence now, but Uber's out of the equation. There's always a dry push to be had when that is the case. Brugman in once again, doesn't find anyone close in house, might land onto a Disky here though, but the defensive bomb from Puck managing to stuff them in the door is doing wonders so far. The Uber's nearly up for Juxta, but it's not going to matter when a Disky takes him down. Now QB just trying to do anything he can on second. The heals are still up for NOOBPANZER. Pickles staying alive, and now Ron's throwing his life away into lobby, just runs into Joe, who is keeping that nice and defended. The Uber's nearly up for Pickles as well. There's 20 seconds. Second isn't capped. I think this might be it, Steven. Alien running in behind, not going to get that done, and NOOBPANZER taking the first map 3-2. An incredibly close fight here on Metalworks.
That was such a close game here. You could tell that they were really feeling the pressure there on Forfence after they lost that final round. Felt like they're really trying to rush those couple of fights. They actually had time to get a full Uber and get onto last if they managed to bully them out a little bit on NOOBPANZER. But it was definitely a very risky play for them to do it, so they decided to go for that drive fight, and those double soldier bombs just were not working out. They were just so countered by NOOBPANZER. They knew it was their only play to manage to get anything, and they just managed to counter it so hard. They got an early pick onto Delhi, and then it was all over really from there. It was good counter-soldier aggression, and then the scouts just staying around Pickles super well. They had absolutely no chance of getting onto him with those soldiers. So in the end, NOOBPANZER have a really solid second hold there. They managed to clutch out that first map, 3-2. You know what? They've had 2 last caps where they basically just played huge point pressure.
That's what I was just about to come on to. This... You know, you can't help but feel like this is another game that Forfence threw it away. Like, it's another game where they're in the lead for the entirety of it, and then that first sneak cap happens from Voxy, that second cap where it's essentially a trade on last, everyone kites the Uber and then jumps points at the same time, and there's just no defense to be said for it, despite the Uber still being on for Forfence. It's just these little mistakes that make all the difference in the end. And there's so many situations you can go back in this game and say, oh, if just this was different, it's an entirely different result. Even at the end there, you saw in the last 3 or 4 minutes, Forfence could have easily been able to tie that up if they didn't get just rolled over in house. Pretty much a 3-man flank bust was their final nail in the coffin. But Forfence, I mean, again, if they don't let those 2 last caps get snuck away from them, that could have been a 2-1, even a 2-0 for Forfence, I believe. I think they were up 2 rounds at the start, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, but there was a 2-0 at the very start there, and then it kind of crumbled. They kept being pushed back onto their last more and more. Some nice bombs onto Jokes, so they had to give up second a couple of times by just full advantage from NOOBPANZER. Had some, pretty stellar last defenses until those trades came in. And yeah, it just kind of all fell apart a little there when Rons got jumped on that one last point. I got crunched super early. It just allowed, a nice respite area for soldiers to stand, and then just had that lovely bomb into the point to gather that, all important around here for NOOBPANZER. But I think we're having a little look at the logs if you're ready, Bum.
Yeah, go ahead. Is there anything that's standing out to you?
I mean, Alien had a great game for himself, doing his role as the pocket scout really well, 21-8. Adiski also having really big impact, really good damage from him. Top damaging on the server, only seconded to Delhi, very close by those two. Delhi known as, possibly one of the most aggressive demo men in Prem, getting 275, but Adiski managing even more at 278, so doing huge stuff. I saw him all the time managing to just get huge damage onto those players, getting Delhi down super low, and his team being able to clean him up. So I think he did a really great job there as playing his role on this map.
Yeah, I think not too many particular standout plays or players. That's just a game of Team Fortress 2, really, there. Both of the teams really playing together. Some mistakes. There seemed to be some really good adapting from both teams on the mids as well. First of all, I believe that NOOBPANZER specifically made that first mid, probably knowing what 4Fence was going to do. It seemed like perfect counter to them with Puck hiding in that house, knowing that Delhi's always the one to be walking too far ahead of his team and picking him off in the back on that first mid. But then in the second mid, 4Fence turning it straight around, pretty much instantly coming up with a counter to that play, and then much more standard mid fights being played from there on out throughout the game. So a really interesting one on Metalworks, and I hope we see a repeat on Process here.
Yeah, we did not get to say our second map earlier. We did not know what it was, just like you didn't. But it's going to be Process, and having known now what the map pool was for the picks this week, you know what? I'm not surprised it's Process here. I think this is a widely loved map here, and I think this isn't too bad of a pick for either team here. To be honest, but I can't really say who I think might come out on top on this one either.
Yeah, trying to remember if I've seen either of these teams on this map so far. I might have seen NOOBPANZER on it. But yeah, I mean, not knowing whose pick Metalworks was is throwing a spanner into that as well. I mean, you've got to assume it's 4Fence maybe after their performance versus Witness on it. But I mean, NOOBPANZER definitely look like they've done their homework. We were talking about them maybe losing to Swift on this map or dropping points, but yeah, they didn't look uncomfortable on Metalworks by any means. But yeah, Process coming into this one, I mean, there's not much I can kind of theory craft from what we saw there on the first map. There's it's not like that first map was just a game of mid fights or just a game of one team holding last much better, playing certain situations much better. It was all very even throughout in pretty much every category, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I think overall that was a super close game. I think both teams, making a couple of mistakes here and there, some hero plays coming out, but I think overall just some pretty good TF2 and some pretty good on-the-fly plays, and I think you might see a bit of a difference in this map, though. I love that, a lot of experience on this map from both teams. These guys would have played this map potentially, thousands of times. At this rate, it's a staple of TF2, and it really relies on your scouts a lot here. So I feel whoever can have the better scout duo on this, a lot of the time it can do a lot. But also having your demo man, playing well, especially going into second from mid, can be a huge differentiator. And I've seen Delhi do some absolute madnesses on this map. So I think each team definitely has a bit of a trick up their sleeve for having a slight advantage on this map. So yeah, as I said before, pretty even, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Delhi, he's, as you said, definitely the chaos maker of the team, and it can really be either a massive upside or a massive downside. Delhi's always going to be the furthest ahead at any given moment in time. He's always going to be putting out a massive amount of damage. It's just whether or not he's feeding while doing so. There are so many situations on so many different teams where you just see Delhi is super far ahead and gets taken down, and it's just a demo pick pretty much for free. No matter how much damage he's done, that damage is going to get healed up. A dead demo doesn't get healed up unless the respawn timer says so. So he can very much be, it's either side of the coin, whether or not that kind of playstyle is good for them. And I think there's a lot to be said for the momentum here as well. I mean, 4Fence, and being 2-0 up in that first game, and then a pause happening, and pretty much since then, NOOBPANZER seem to get back into it, especially with some gimmicky rounds. That's going to feel very good for NOOBPANZER, and it's going to feel pretty tragic for Forfence, so that might affect these teams here on Process. Looks like we had a fake ready up there, but we're going to be going for real soon. So what do you think is going to be the scoreline here on Process?
I'm thinking this is going to be more of NOOBPANZER's forte. This is obviously a map that they've played before. They haven't played this season. I did have a little look through, but I think they're still going to take it. I think it's going to be a 4-2 from them here, Bump.
Alright, I'll side with you as well, purely on the momentum factor here. I think NOOBPANZER will be able to take this one, but we're into the first mid. Both teams taking it slow and steady so far. Bridgman, the first one to go up with a bomb, lands straight onto Piggles, but the second rocket just isn't there. Ron's going to be the one to follow up, and now all the height has been taken by Forfence, but Juxta, he's walking in instead of out. He knows that the flank is coming in from behind from Voxy, and now it's 2 scouts versus a scout and a demo. Joe just going to get taken down at the end there. Voxy will be the one to win out the scout 1v1, but Juxta has just completely abandoned his team, slips out through PC there, and they take a 50% advantage home with them.
Yeah, Juxta just giving them the moves there, really. Manages to get that lovely surf into IT. I thought he was going to be caught out by Voxy there, but he decides to come back, help his scout partner out, and, you know, win that initial mid-fight. But that doesn't matter too much, as they've already had to back up here onto second on the side of NOOBPANZER. It's going to be Forfence. Wow, taking this mid after this unfortunate pause.
Yep, another pause, and yeah, no... it sounds like, oh, that's a rough one. We've just heard from the producer that Juxta has disconnected, so whether or not there's going to be some advantage issues, I'm sure the teams will be able to sort it out, but yeah, NOOBPANZER not having the time to cap mid there does make all the difference. Forfence now going to be able to take mid, no forwards for NOOBPANZER, so the ad is actually much bigger than I expected it to be. I guess Piggles was on quite a long respawn timer, or didn't have someone to heal for a while, because that 50% getting up to 80% is a surprise to me.
Yeah, I think Juxta managed to come back and meet people pretty early, and then, yeah, Piggles was on a reasonably long spawn, and then I think his first spawn took quite a while after him. Then they got really bad spawn waves, unfortunately, together. So, yeah, now they just have to hold back on this second point. They are going to put up a little bit of a fight, but they have to kind of play really far back here, not going to be able to take that fight into choke like we would normally see on even Ubers. So they're just going to be chilling out. They should be able to take this back to last, but the question is, with such a big disadvantage, are they even going to be able to get it for last here?
It very much depends how slow Forfence are at taking it into second. Teams have become very good now at not committing on second at all, but still making the attacking team from mid take all the time as if they were committing. You know, there's excellent fake bombs and stuff, players able to spam, survive, and still cause some nuisance for Forfence and get out to last with everyone still up and even getting that Uber in time, but it just depends what we're going to see from Forfence. Last time we had a situation like this, we weren't expecting the instant deli bomb, and we could see something like that again. It's definitely plausible that they can get in deep with this unless Piggles is absolutely inside that shutter. So we'll see what Forfence opts to go for. It's about 60% ad. Voxy already putting up that sentry on last. They've made some ground into second already. And Juxta is just going to get forced off there. So much spam onto him that they just opt to go with it. They thought maybe they could at least catch someone, but it's an expertly diverted Uber from NOOBPANZER out to last with a big ad.
Yeah, really nice little footsies plays from them there just to get that spam to Juxta. They look like they wanted to take that quickly from the side of Forfence, but that is the downside there. If your med does take too much spam, you just have to force there. And it does look like NOOBPANZER want to push out this. They are situated towards this one area. Voxy has to be careful of these traps, but he's getting spammed as well, so he can't even get in for free, and it's making him so hard. Traps do eventually go down. A bomb comes out from Bronson. He is dropped. Piggles taken down so low, as well as Joe. So they just have to back up here, so this will be no repush for NOOBPANZER. So actually, in the end, this is not so bad.
Yep, not bad at all, and even with a scout down, that's absolutely the opportunity to go for some sacks. Ron's going to be the one attempting it, but he's going to get taken down. Bridgman also getting caught off in lobby. Oh, QB, that third kill makes all the difference. This should be... Oh, this is where Juxta timed out as well. Oh, that's very, very rough. You just see Juxta in there with 83%. just gets taken down due to timing out. Probably would have been out to a safe position there, considering how long it took them to actually kill him. We'll see. Looks like they are doing some Uber sword building, so good sportsmanship from the teams here, letting him get the Uber back up.
Yeah, that's very nice for them to do that. They want to even the game stay out a little bit, recognizing there that Juxta, you know, couldn't do anything about himself timing out there. And now we will be back to a familiar-ish position here. However, this time, NOOBPANZER gets to do the little forward hold here, and it is probably on the side of 4fence to try to do something here. You usually see the attacking side go for these sacks here, so we'll see what they want to do. Are they going to send soldier bombs in? They're going to send Deli quite aggressive here, quite potentially. He is already into this...
Yeah, he's just going to spam from sewer, and it's going to be soldiers coming in, and as we see, they are landing it now.
Good rockets!
Ooh, Piggles, Balls of Steel makes it out on 10 health into the shutters, just knows that those rockets are just far away enough to be splashes, and manages to keep the Uber up. That's a huge one. Could have been very, very different. Adiski now in with the counter-stack, gets only one rocket onto Juxta before he's swiftly dealt with.
Yeah, unfortunate for NOOBPANZER, that's all they could do with it. I thought they were looking to maybe get a little bit more of aggressiveness through the choke there. Joe was quite situated, but kind of wasn't ready to do that spam. So now it is on the side of 4fence to do something. They are setting up here Deli in that same little spam spot with heals this time.
Piggles is catching so much early spam. Ooh. If they stack on Piggles right now, surely they get him. He's so weak, so far back. Just ate everything there and went down to like 80 health, but... They are taking this very slow and steady 4fence. They don't want to rush into anything. And in fact, with the amount of just damage they're doing, this could be a battle of attrition. They just force them out. But instead it's a late sack from Rons. And by that time, Piggles has fully regened up. Maybe not the best timing. Maybe they didn't know how much damage they had done to Piggles. But now the counter sack is on with Shocky actually just running it in. But everything is once again slowing down. Puck has some good spam, but not going to jump with it.
It can't quite manage to get anything. Can NOOBPANZER? Puck might actually be quite out here though. He's so low, is jumping back, manages to survive. No one could find that last little shot to take him down, so luckily will live for a little bit longer. It allows them to do a bit more spam, but now once more in the court of 4fence. They look like, yeah, they love taking this sewer area with Deli here. He got allowed to walk quite deep onto grass last time, and they're not really trapping him out. Again this time, Brugman situated towards choke, but sitting pretty far back is Piggles. He's in no sidelines here. He's not going to be taking this sticky spam, but he has to be careful for everyone else. Rons is taken down there by Adiski. Doing a great job this game as Adiski of shutting down Rons actually.
Yep, and again, just some poking and prodding from NOOBPANZER. Adiski's the only one who could really make a play here. He's ready in a PC. Actually, it's Puck in from the choke. Going to be just straight up dropping Deli from the front. The heel's very far back from Juxta and dropping a scout as well. This trade now looking worse and worse by the second. Piggles milks it for so long. Goes down very, very low. Might just get killed off after the Uber here, but... Ron's getting run over in the choke by the Uber of Shocky. Juxta also getting taken down very low. Voxy's going to be able to clean that one up as well, and NOOBPANZER managed to make that trade much more favorable for them. Juxta dropping all those players before the Uber, and then they just don't have the players required to keep everything locked down. Despite the trade kind of favoring them in the spawn timers, it does not favor them in the fight itself, and now NOOBPANZER with a big 50 ad. Ready to take second for free and roll this to last.
Yeah, this is really good for them. That demo man going down is possibly the best pick off of the medic. You can actually definitely is on process the best pick you can get off of the medic, because that player not you know, Deli is the only one who can hold down the choke there and just allows them to walk in for free. They did look like they were going to try to walk in on NOOBPANZER. However, a lovely little headshot by Rons does take down Puck. It's going to slow things down. Looks like they might want to walk in through one here with this Uber. They're going to find the gun on this left side. All the players in spawn is going to let Voxy get a lot of cap time. This is what worked for them well last time. Nice little flash there by Piggles. He does eventually go down to the huge amount of players coming in, but they're just managing to do so much with this Scout Heavy and Demo Man combo on the side of 4fence. Oh, Puck!
No, you can't be letting that happen. Juxta just taking unnecessary risks right at the end. They knew Puck was up there, and you just got to keep your distance as much as possible. Then you can blame your team, but if you're running forwards to heal your team don't really need heals. They're 5 up. Putting your own life at risk just isn't worth it, and that at least gives NOOBPANZER a chance getting back into mid here. So there is still no heals up. Juxta hasn't entered the fight just quite yet, but now it's going to be a 6v6 fight on mid. Voxy's actually gone down in the forward spawn on Sniper, so Forfence do have a bit of an advantage here, and Ron's bombing forwards will take down Shocky. Adiski going down as well to Brujman behind, so now Forfence actually coming out on top in this fight. Deli bombing forwards once again, trying to lock them all out, but as we spoke about, could get punished for it. Nice surf out to keep himself alive from the bomb of Hugo, and Forfence now in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was going to be really ironic to what we were saying earlier if he managed to go down there, but got a nice surf out there, managed to just push him out a little bit. He wants to spam out this gun from 2 Destali. Does not realise his pipes don't quite reach as far as he would quite hope there, but yeah, they are coming up on this Uber, but both teams having this 100% Uber, so this is going to have to be an attempt, but the bomb comes in onto Juxta here, can't quite find that last rocket. Kind of Disky. It did take him down to a clean 50-ish health, though.
And again, Deli's just like pushing the issue, gets taken down unbelievably low, but surfs a scattergun out of there once again. Gets caught trying to bite off a bit more than he can chew in one there. That's going to be Hugo defending with the rockets, so a demo down means that there's no more aggression for the foreseeable future for Forfence.
Yeah, this might give an opportunity for a sack if they wanted to go fast, and NOOBPANZER looks like they're just going to chill out for a little bit longer here, though. They just want to situate on this point. Can be, notoriously quite hard to push here, especially once they get this gun up. They're going to have the heavy here on the interim on the point, but the gun should move to that position once it's level 3 here, Bum.
Yep, they're going to be putting the gun up. There's very little spam from Forfence. They're not even in lobby to maybe sack when it gets moved. That's a very popular voice line to listen out for, is the packing up, but Shocky's gun actually very, very low already. Just gets taken down by a roller there, in fact, from Deli from 2, and we've got another pause.
I hope it's not another tech issue. I hope Juxta is not having his same unfortunate problems here.
Yeah, well, it was Juxta who dropped in the first map as well. As close as it was to looking like it was a kind of tack pause after a round, it was actually Juxta on the next mid fight timing out, but apparently it's Shocky's fault this time, so blame German internet.
Yeah, we can talk about a little bit in the game here, what's happening, because we are actually in the middle of what should be a little bit of an action. We do have Brujman fighting Adiski here, on this 5 area. I don't know who's going to quite come out of this. Adiski having a little bit of a health advantage here, but Brujman does have his medic pretty close to him, so he could grab a clutch arrow here. The gun has gone down here, so this is why Forfence is so aggressive here into this lobby area. They want to see if they can find something onto the medic here while they don't really have anything to counter it with, right? They have a sniper and an engineer. These are not the classes you want to defend your medic with.
Yeah, it looks like both these soldiers are getting juggled up, so that might not even be the most important part. There's Ron's over on the far other side. He's definitely in position to make a sack play from 1 instead. There's 1 sticky above him, but I doubt that'll be enough. And as you mentioned, the sniper and NG far from him isn't the perfect anti-sack situation to have, so maybe Ron's could find an in here. Just whether Joe can hit the sticky pipe or get another sticky out in time to stop this. I don't actually know if he's seen Ron's or not from the angle he's currently at.
Yeah, I mean, looking on his cam, he can just about see it, but obviously this pause is not the same for us that it is, for them. So this is in real time for them. They're going to have to react quickly to this. We can, theorycraft all we want, but from our last pause, we can tell we seem to not be able to see the future. We haven't got the magic 8 ball, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, it's all eyes on Piggles either way. With the sentry down, you've got to be trying something from Forfence here. So they are definitely going to be looking to try and sack towards this med. They don't really have the opportunity to make pressure from all these angles. It doesn't seem like with Brujman as engaged as he is.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. They also do have snipers up on both teams. You should probably take note of this. QB having a decent silence onto a backing up a Disky if he does decide to back up here. Might just get picked out and then Brujman allowed for a recommit. Yeah,
that's true actually. Even if Adiski wins this 1v1 versus Brujman, if Alien's rushing him down on the flank, that does open up a pretty big pressure cooker scenario where you can have your your sniper pretty much taking free shots while you have spam from Deli and Rons on the other side. Just anything to scare Pickles into popping in this forward situation is really what Forfence are looking for. Whether or not they have to lose a player or two to do that, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, they won't mind that at all. It's a pretty safe on second point here for your medic. You can just run all the way back up to choke. So even if they do lose 2, even potentially 3 here, they should be okay here. They do have the Unpause coming out here. No players going down. No one going super aggressive. Actually, as I say that, Brugman comes in, gets 2 rockets to the Pickles, and he drops!
And Rons went in, managed to take down Joe in the meantime as well. So this is pretty huge now. No demo, no medic, no nothing for the defenders. Can Forfence actually convert this push? Shocky and Voxy doing everything they can on point, and once again they double up to just thwart a push that should have run them over. Shocky and Voxy have been absolutely clutching up on these lasts.
Yeah, huge from them. Deli just had nothing loaded there. He had to bring out the katana of all things there. He was that desperate to try to get those scouts, but unfortunately did go down. So huge clutch plays here. When it all looks so dire, you can count on these players to manage to just make you live a little longer here.
Yeah, well, with the drop and the instant use, it does mean that the spawn timer does actually mean that there's still a recycled ad to be had here for Juxta, but it's got to be a quick one. 30%, here they go, they're taking it through 1. Have to be quick with this one. Already Piggles rotating up top. Shocky's going to be going down on heavy. That looks like where he crashed, unfortunately. But here is the push into last. The bomb's coming forwards now, trying to stuff them in the spawn. It's still about 60% cap. The Uber on the defense is out now for NOOBPANZER. Brugman just trying to kite this as long as he can. We might see some kind of repush here from Forfence, but no. They're just going to call it quits, get out to second instead. And this is where the pause happened. It looked like Shocky was completely AFK on heavy during that fight.
Yeah, I was quite surprised to not see them go for something while they did have Shocky missing there. Actually, especially for that repush with Brugman getting out even, sorry. I assumed he would just get an arrow and they tried to go back in. They didn't really have great classes, no sentry gun, no heavy up there to defend, so it definitely could have been a pushable fight. However, they want to cut their losses here. They know they're on Uber Disad now here. Pickles does have this full Uber advantage. They're not going to be pushing, no, I don't think, on NOOBPANZER. They want to run this clock down. Only a minute and a half left. These are the sort of times when we're going to be seeing either, very last-ditch sacks or the trade coming out here, as we saw on Metalworks with NOOBPANZER doing that.
Did I miss something? How did the Uber come up for Pickles so fast? They were, I swear they used to defend on last, and the next time I look, Pickles is at full Uber again. Is that the pause bug?
Might have been the pause bug, yeah. I don't think he quite had, I think it should have been about even, but doesn't seem to matter, as the Uber's going to even out either way. So NOOBPANZER doesn't, take advantage of that glitch. They just decided to chill out. They said that they had advantage. So it's all good here. Good sportsmanship coming out, and it looks like we might be getting the trade here onto Adeli straight away. Pickles does have to use that Uber. A little bit disconnected from his players here. It's pretty much a solo on Deli. They do decide to take this left-hand side area here. They are going to be by Puck, who's jumped up top. Pickles got taken down so low. This man with the balls of the steel does live again, managing to save his demo man as well. He's coming up so clutch in this fight here, and they're just being thwarted out of this point by the Voxtech Heavy. Ron's going down as well, and look, the chase is now on the ball onto Juxta. He will be 60 health, going down lower and lower, but gets out to mid here. Bum. NOOBPANZER taking the second point with only 15 seconds on the round reset clock.
Yeah, so much to be said about that trade there on last, but I don't think they're going to give me time to do it. Looks like NOOBPANZER are just wanting to take this while they have the momentum, rushing this one into mid. There's a bomb forwards from Puck, focusing Deli down, spam from Adiski in the flank as well, but that's going to be Voxy and Hugo both falling in the choke. Adiski getting chased as well by QB, and they have to leave second as soon as they've got it.
A nice bomb in there from Rons, and the follow-up from QB managed to get Shocky as well. He was a little, out of position compared to the rest of his team who already got back on last. Alien's already in, though, onto this soldier. He will go down. They're just not being able to watch these doors enough. So much, they're going to be able to get good cap time. Uber does come out here from Pickles. It is traded out here, though. And we've seen this situation before. Can Forfence clutch this one up? There are no stickies on point here quite yet from Joe. He is going to be putting a little bit of pressure on now, but so much cap time. They get the first round on Forfence. And that's 16 minutes remaining.
Yeah, excellent choice from Forfence to just not take the foot off the pedal there, getting straight into last, doing so much work onto Piggles that he has to use off first. They managed to just about not drop Deli in the Uber as well. They were very far from each other when Juxta wanted to use, but The focus fire not there to take Delhi down in time, and of course the conversion at the end for ForFence. So they've taken the lead once again, but we've seen this before in Metalworks. Can NOOBPANZER get back in the game?
Yeah, it should be a bit of a slower mid here for ForFence. Delhi was slow on the spawn. It looks like NOOBPANZER also took their time here. And look how much space on top they just have here for ForFence. They're just keeping them in a corner. Disky was taken down so low, manages to get the pack. But it doesn't matter when Piggles goes down. It is Juxta just alive with his scout. Has to run out. Actually has both scouts here now. Kubi will be hiding though for these players he knows are going to potentially be chasing. Luckily, Adiski just backs out and he does not have to take that fight. But now looking really good for the Frenchies once more. They keep uber advantage for the second mid running.
Yeah, maybe just remembering how well they got absorbed on previous mids when they all committed for that medic at the end. So instead, they just opt to hang on to the mid fight, not feed away any players. Piggles is up once again, but it's a full advantage for Juxta, as you mentioned. They're going to be taking this one slow and steady. There's sticks on both PC and Choke that they need to watch out for from Joe, but they've got it through pretty nicely so far. Juxta still baiting as much as he can. They're going to drop Brugman on the entry just to make sure that that medic doesn't get forced off. They do get a kill onto Voxy in return, and Nadiski could get caught here in Choke. He is going to go down as well. Shocky is on the wrong side to the rest of his team, but here comes a pre-fire bomb from Hugo, and the Uber is forced out, and look how safe Piggles is already in the bunker on last with that full Uber. So second for ForFence, Uber for NOOBPANZER.
Yeah, this is looking really nice for NOOBPANZER. If they had to be careful of these bombs, Rons does go in for that sack, and I think that'll all be all that ForFence decides to put in here, as it does look like NOOBPANZER situating towards this lower lobby area. They are going to try to get in here. Usually they do just get in for free, actually. I was going to say they usually pop. They do eventually have to. Too much spam from the high ground here. Luckily, no players managed to get in behind from ForFence, but they won't lose anyone there, and they managed to force out the Uber from NOOBPANZER. Looking really good for them now.
Yeah, managing to be that forwards and force off the Uber and get everyone out from ForFence is just ideal. Now they've pretty much flip-flopped this, and there's so much more opportunity to just win a round on second when you're the team with advantage here. So Piggles needs to be really, really careful that they can do the same. Hopefully just all get out alive at the end of this. But Juxta gets dropped by Hugo. Massive bomb. Actually only on 96%, but Hugo with the double direct makes it work, and that has changed everything. NOOBPANZER now in the driver's seat. Second is going to get capped up regardless, but NOOBPANZER going to be straight back in to fight this one. QB hiding on the boxes here in the Gazzy spot.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get anything. He's playing the long game here. Doesn't go for the soldier. He's into the lobby area. I think he's unspotted here. He's going to have to take this 1v1 though, but Shocky doesn't lose those. Rons has come in for the bomb onto Piggles, but he is pretty safe here, so that's now 2 down for the side of ForFence, and it is going to be the 100% Uber advantage here for NOOBPANZER. They should just roll this straight into mid. They're not going to be able to put up any sort of formidable defense on the side of ForFence, and they want to keep this train rolling. They're already looking into the choke of ForFence here. Delhi needs to be a bit careful. Not in a great position here. It's going to be fought by Disky. Luckily, he does have a scout to help him out here, but Puck doesn't want to stop either. Has had great success in the past, but can he do in the future? Rons does get traded out, luckily, but that's all they will get for now. Ooh, lovely snipe by QB in the forward spawn. Now Uber's going to even up for last there again, Bum.
Yep, Uber's evened up. There's a pick advantage for ForFence, but can they actually do anything from it? It's very tricky last to get out of with just picks alone. And Shocky seen an opportunity. He's all the way in through 2. He's on the point already. They're pretty far from him. He's got a decent amount of cap time. They do manage to kill him off, but this is definitely a situation where you kind of want to push the issue for NOOBPANZER. They can do anything that would just scare ForFence a little bit. They've got the heavy and sentry combo going up now, and it looks like NOOBPANZER are just happy to call it there, let that cap time wear off instead. But that was just massive from Shocky. In fact, if he had gone into 1, he might have been able to force Juxta off from behind, but the cap time's not bad either.
No, I think he had to go for that play there. He saw such an an open point, and that's just guaranteed if you do get it. Unfortunately, the rest of his team
Delhi down.
Ooh, Delhi going down does open up that 1 and 2 area here. Makes that gun a lot easier to get. It does go down. Still have Alien on the heavy to worry about. And unfortunately, they did lose 2 for it here on the side of NOOBPANZER, so they will not be taking this any more forward. Do you have a Disky hiding here 5?
Oh my god, there's literally a soldier right on top of it.
No! He gets the vent!
Juxta switched off the... What is Juxta doing? He switches off the Uber and drops it!
That's so tragic. How does he do that?
Bro!
How does he get off the Uber?
I've never seen someone drop Uber after they've used the Uber before. What is that from Juxta? And Adiski just being able to sneak underneath Ron's feet. Ron's toes literally touching Adiski's head. And he manages to get that 2-rocket onto Juxta. That is unbelievable. NOOBPANZER with 100% advantage now, surely looking to take this one.
Yeah, they're already looking into this lobby area here. They do have to worry about this sentry and heavy up top here, but the Uber already comes out straight onto this gun. The cat time coming out from Voxy already. Brugman does jump in, but doesn't manage to get too much done with that. The heavy is out, but he gets focused down straight away. Everyone's so low on the side of 4 fence. This is looking so good for NOOBPANZER, but they don't want to stop on 4 fence. They know they have to keep fighting this. A nice little pick onto Puck. Can they get much more though? QB on the beam here. Joe needs to get reloaded to be able to do anything here. It's a 3v3. Heals are up for both teams. Huge damage. Nice follow-up by Voxy, and that's all they needed there. A little bit of patience, a little bit of damage, and they take that to take it back to a 1-1.
So close to being clutched up by 4 fence, but just in the 3v3, the damage output is too good. They didn't have the time to really heal Brugman up as he got juggled away from the point, so unable to block that one. They knew it was all about the cap time, and they just had to kill that one scout on the point, and then they take it from there. NOOBPANZER back in the game, and if there was any way to get momentum back into a game like this, it's off a huge play like that from Adiski. NOOBPANZER now very much the favourites going forwards as 4 fence trying to bomb forwards on this mid. Just getting in very little bits of damage here and there, but no real kills to be said for it. Shocky now going down for Rons, and both teams playing very passively over at their side. Pickles still hasn't quite moved out of choke, whereas the rest of the team is kind of pushing towards enemy pack here for 4 fence, now running this one over as the bomb comes in from Adiski. Juxta actually gets the Uber in time. Pickles doesn't quite have it yet. Pickles has no one to heal. They could kill Pickles here.
They're gonna kill Pickles. Yeah, they managed to get him there. They were just building very much slightly slower there. I was gonna say it was looking good for NOOBPANZER. They were managing to get those soldiers down really low as 4 fence were just constantly jumping in with those soldiers, trying to get as much pressure as they could. And unfortunately, they traded out Voxy for it. But now this will be another 100% advantage because Juxta picked up the Medigun.
Trying to spawn camp as much as possible. Yeah, picking up that Medigun is a huge thing to be said as well. Juxta having to use off on last eventually, but seconds almost been capped up, and they're 4v6 already for NOOBPANZER on the disadvantage. They're going to clean up a couple more kills. Sentry Gun and Joe going down now. It's the 6v3 on last, and just the perfect bin from 4 fence, spawn camping that entire round out and getting the second round on the board. That is how you get back into it off of a pretty unlucky last round.
Yeah, well, talking about momentum, that's going to get some huge momentum for 4 fence. That was such a dominant round for them. Seems like they've got these mid-fights a little bit more figured out here. I think, well, technically they've won 2 for 3, but 3 for 3, as much as, you know, the standing overall would go in the long run. Ron does get met a little bit there, so it's going to be taken down a little bit low. They might take it a little slower this time on 4 fence. They have taken much more of this great high ground here. Just standing in this choke a little more is NOOBPANZER. Joe taken down quite low. A lot of focus onto him. They don't manage to get him quite yet. Rons goes in for the bomb onto Puck. These players getting taken down so low, but they can't find anything. Soldiers traded 1 for 1, but Deli actually went down in that fire. I completely missed that. That will be 4 fence having to leave, losing that streak of mid-wins.
It was Deli being the first one to go down once again on the mid-fight, and it didn't even have to be a soldier or anything coming for him. He was just the furthest one forwards on point, got focused down by the scouts. Pre-fire bomb once again coming in from Brugman, but Piggles baiting, knows exactly what to do in those situations, and lets the soldier just land on nothing, taking a free second now.
Oh, Deli has to be careful. Deli gets taken down there, overextending once more into that shotter's area, and that means no stickies on point, no damage in the post fight here. It's going to be NOOBPANZER 100%, not 100% I'm sorry, it's evened up here actually, and they do use here bump.
Yep, Alien manages to get behind this Uber, trying to see if he can drop Joe from it. Has a couple more seconds than NOOBPANZER do to try and work some magic, but not able to find anything, and now we need a gun up stat.
Puck's
there is
secret.
Puck hiding. Oh my god, I didn't even notice this. This could be an incredible trap to spring, but Brugman sniffs it out.
He is unfortunately caught out. A player just spotting him there. Unfortunately, so that play will not happen. He had good patience there. He was waiting for an opportunity to go for that medic. Unfortunately, does not quite work out for them here. And now this is really where they need to be in the driving seat of NOOBPANZER here. It's 4 minutes on the reset clock, 6 minutes on the overall clock. So if this does reset, that would only leave them 2 minutes to go. You know, this last quite difficult to push here. But we've seen both teams be pretty good actually about making something happen.
Yeah, I think in this particular situation, you're happy to take a reset if it comes to that. If you're 4th, you can pretty reliably make mids not be a roll on process. Even if you end up losing them, you can pretty much cancel your med early and get him out. Joe's taking a hell of a lot of spam in 1 right now. Shockey's trying to force the issue through 3, but he's going to lose his life as well. Now that's a Disky and Shockey down. There's a lot of space to be had on second for 4th. Everyone's kind of playing bundled up around the point. Deli's putting big damage into them, and there's just an Uber out from lower onto Alien. Gonna get traded off. He's managed to make them split this quite a bit, so it ends up even. Drops Joe from the Uber on the backlines afterwards, and now the bomb's coming forwards from 4th. Piggles with a beautiful surf manages to keep himself alive, and a Disky threatening a back cap. All these things are going to slow 4th down just bit by bit, but they should be getting second anyway here. A Disky making one last ditch attempt to the point, so that's actually going to buy time for Shockey and Voxy to come in. They're just not letting this one go, but eventually NOOBPANZER getting out to mid, and again, just huge credit to Piggles for that surf. That's not the first time he's completely saved his team by hitting one of those and getting himself out to an advantageous position.
Yeah, Piggle's been absolutely great at this game. It looks like 4th wanted to push there, however, quite a lot of damage coming out early. They do trade Ron's for Voxy. Goes down to a roller, I believe it might have even been there. So they will probably both just be relaxing a little bit here. But yeah, that fight felt like it lasted for so long. Juxta just kind of got forced really early coming in from that lower area, from spam from point. And it looks like it was going, you know, really bad. And I think it was mostly Joe going down there in that Uber fight. Just didn't have the damage in the post fight. And then the soldiers managing to do so much from 4th. But they've actually got one behind here. Disky is in behind into their lobby area. Ron's knows though. He's looking at him. He does not want him to get in for free. But they are going to be pressuring from IT as well here.
Yeah, and Juxta doesn't really have an escape square. If he backs up from anything that comes forwards right now, he's ending up in a Disky. So they do have to go back and deal with a Disky. They are going to take him down sooner rather than later, which is good for them. Bridgman gets caught out here on suicide, but he's still going to live from it. They're not going to hard commit to clearing him out.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not the play here. If they lose another player to Bridgman somehow, that's going to get 4th the opportunity to get into mid, and that is not what they want. They want to keep this ground on mid. They want to keep this, you know, pushing position where they do have this, you know, greater opportunity of getting onto this second, because this is their game to lose here. They are down 2-1 towards 4th, and it's only 3 minutes remaining here, so this is really, really crucial time here for NOOBPANZER. They are looking towards this Al Qaeda area. Getting some good spam here from the Demo Man. Nice little sticky. Takes down Juxta to 75. Insta-bomb comes out from Puck. Nice surf from Juxta. And they can't find anything. Both soldiers going down here on the side of NOOBPANZER. Yeah,
really nice from Juxta. Balls of steel there to just rely on his team to clean that one up. Just not looking at the bomb at all. Having hope that Puck is going to go down there quick enough, and he does. So that keeps them with an Uber up. Very good job. Juxta, though, he's very, very low and unable to heal anyone right now. Has to just back this one out. Their Ubers are traded off, and Voxy's in deep, and it's a much better Uber for Blue. They might be able to catch something here from 4th. Voxy actually sacrifices his life, it seems, but they're just doing no damage to him. It's not a sacrifice at all if they can't take him down. The rest of NOOBPANZER are able to get back in here, and they're actually winning out this fight. They've managed to go 1-for-1 on soldiers, and the damage is all
Deli's
just there.
so low. Deli goes down as well.
This is really terrible from 4th. How they weren't able to clean up Voxy there, nobody knows. They somehow managed to turn that losing trade into an excellent one by Voxy, just diverting their attention, not going down at all, and then the repush, all the space managing to be taken instantly for NOOBPANZER. They're able to roll this one forwards. There's very little time for them to do it, and they're managing it. Sentry down, Ron's down. It's a 6v5 now. They have all of this space over the right side of Last. Bombing in above Deli. Deli once again caught high and dry, nowhere near his medic. He's going to get taken down. Now it's a 6v4. They just need to focus this point time down. They're trying to get in onto Juxta. That medic is just going to be living way too long. And once again, they bottle it right at the end. NOOBPANZER not able to convert that one with such an advantageous push. 4th keeping it alive.
These French scouts are just doing so much. They're doing such a good job of just bundling around Juxta when it really, really matters here. They knew they just didn't have that sustain there from Joe. He'd already used a lot of his stickies and pipes earlier on in that fight, so they knew they were not going to really have to worry about that. Deli keeps getting disconnected though. That's something they need to really, really focus on. But the trade is going to come out here. It's going to be so much later for Juxta. Only just has to pop out now here. It's going to be about a 60% advantage on Uber there. Doesn't look like he can get anything. Deli needs to be careful here. Did bomb in deep for that fight, but the reflight's out. Deli goes down. Exactly what I said needed to not happen straight away, and they're getting huge cap time already. Can they find
They need
anything
this heavy
here?
to cap. They need to get everyone on cap right now. Okay, it's a 4v3. Things have managed to stabilize for Forfence. NOOBPANZER, they don't quite have the guns to get in here. They've managed to just stave this off for now, Forfence, but there's an inevitable repush coming. The NG is just about going to start getting that sentry up now, but it's not going to be too relevant in the fight. Won't be up for long by looks things. Puck in with an early bomb, just gets hovered against the skybox by the sentry, by the heavy there, sorry, and everyone is going down one by one for NOOBPANZER, and a completely fitting end to a very tight game. These teams are dead even in the middle of the season. 3-3. Forfence and NOOBPANZER will be your final score. Both these teams taking a map, and I have not seen two closer maps this season. That has been an incredible one to watch.
This has been actually such a good one to watch. I was a little worried with some of the performances we've seen from NOOBPANZER. They might, take it a little bit further than that, but both these games being incredibly close. And oh my goodness, what a great game. I think Deli nearly threw that a couple of points, but did some huge damage a lot of the other times. So, the Deli playstyle we were talking about at the start really managed to pay off in the end, I think. But yeah, just so well played from both of these teams. They're so back and forth. Lots of nice creative plays. But in the end, it just, comes down to just a little bit better plays from Forfence. They took those opportunities. They played a lot more aggressive when they needed to. Kept that train rolling a lot more than I felt like NOOBPANZER could sometimes. Felt like they were halted a lot more than the Forfence aggression sometimes was.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the deserved result in the end. Both of these teams seemed pretty much neck and neck all night. As we mentioned, it almost seems like mentioning the Deli feed almost summons it. Like, we say it in pregame, and there were so many times he's just way ahead of his team, just on mids, on seconds, in last pushes. He's just nowhere to be found for his medic to be able to save him, dying off in a lot of crucial spots, but NOOBPANZER unable to capitalize on it when it matters most, and Forfence taking the W there anyway on process. So yeah, that's pretty much the most interesting result you could have to one of the most important games left in the season. Obviously, we're talking about how this is a fight for that third place spot. It's a fight for playoffs for these teams as well. Only 4 can make it, and there's 5 really in contention for it right now. And splitting the points there is just keeping both of them barely above water. So we'll see in the coming weeks how these teams are going to fare in their next few officials, how many points they can get there. And not much else to say from me, Stephen. How about you?
Not too much. As we do have logs on the stream, I will quickly point out, holy Deli and Ron's damage. They did an incredible amount. So we may talk about the Deli feed, but we have to also mention the insane Deli damage, doing just so much more than anyone else on the server here. And Ron's coming up really clutch. Some of his mid bombs just got so much done. And I think it was one of the reasons they won so many of those mids, were just the great bombs from Ron. So just really well played from them there. But yeah, that's all from me really here, Bum. Just GG's all round. Really enjoyable game to cast here.
Yep, very nice. And of course, we are going to have more games coming up next week. Tuesday is the big one. It's Witness versus TF2 Easy, so definitely make sure you are around to catch that. I believe we have one more game coming up this week on Sunday as well. I'm not too sure what that one is. Do you remember it?
Yes, we do. We've just been told it is going to be CSG versus Natty New. Some of your teams down a bit lower of the table, but they are going to want to claw these points away. I think it's actually pretty close on the score lines here. Yeah, Natty New,
that's
3 points. Comedy Shorts Gaming on 5, so really close in the tables.
Yeah, 5th versus 6th seed there. All of the tightest games this season coming out this week. And I mean, for my money, I think those teams will end 5th and 6th at the end of the season, so it'll be a definitely interesting game to watch. But CSG probably the slight favourites, but it's what you say before any Natty Newt match, and those guys have been upsetting since literally their inception.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know yourself, Foreign. The thoughts on Natty New, you thought they're going to get absolutely destroyed by League of Shadows. Little did you know they were going to come into Prem, and they're going to even be Taking a few points away, managed to get 3 points from that team we just saw win.
Yep. Got the
Against
same
Forfeits.
points as NOOBPANZER did against Forfeits, so maybe they're better than NOOBPANZER.
Maybe maybe we need another Team Fortress 2 tweet telling us who the best teams are. But
All
no.
right. Well, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Remember to tune in on Sunday and Tuesday for those other games coming up. Have you got any shout-outs to finish us off?
No, nothing coming in from me today, Bump.
All right. Well, thank you very much for watching, everyone. And we'll catch you next time on TFTV. Goodbye.
Bye.